Welcome, everyone. We're going to be doing a brief introductory presentation on how to navigate the Gencourt website of the state of New Hampshire. It's fairly easy once you get used to it. The more you navigate it, the more you click here and there, you get familiar with the ins and outs of this website and getting to information as in finding your representative, finding information about a specific bill, where is that bill currently standing in committee, or information on the calendar, what's happening every single day and every single week here in Concord. Becomes really easy to do. We're going to start with the first one of how to find your local representatives. So there are a few ways to do that. When you get to the Gencourt website, the homepage, you're going to scroll down a little bit. And if you click on House, you can find the roster of the House, and you can find the roster of the Senate. There's a faster, easier way, a more interactive way to do so. And it's my personally favorite way to get to that information. If you click in Contact a Representative, you're going to find this map. For example, I live in the county of Grafton, town of Thornton. I click on my county, and then I click on my town. You can see I have my state representative available here with all the information on how to contact the representative. And at the same time, I have information about my state senator and how to find that state senator as well. If you don't know their names, if you don't know what district you are specifically, and you're not familiar with how to get to that map, you can also scroll down here and find your town, and it will do the same thing for you. So we'll go to Brookline, for example, and it gives me all the elected officials for my town. And you click on the name, it will link you straight to ways to contact that person. If you're trying to find information of the whole legislative body, how to find the whole list, emails, addresses, PO boxes, you can do so by going into the roster. Now, you want to know exactly about a specific member, you already know who your representative is. You can go straight here to this section. You select a member. For this purpose, we're going to be using Representative, Susan Almy from the Upper Valley. So when you click on Representative Susan Almy, you're going to find contact information. You're going to find some additional information specific to the committee that she's part of. In this case, the Ways and Means Committee. In some cases, you will find some biographic information for that representative. You're going to find information on the bills that she has sponsored this year, her voting record. This section is specifically important sometimes if you live in a red district and you want to find information on what bills your representative is voting against, especially when you want to do some opposition research for that candidate or for that specific representative. The other way that you can find that, it's a little bit simpler. It's not as interactive as the other one. Is if you click on the Contact a Senator. You're going to go to the town that you want to check in. In this case, I'm going to use Ashland, for example. And it gives me who the senator is for Ashland and the district and the state representatives for that district as well. Fairly easy, right? How do I find which committees are available, are there having meetings, and which committees are for the House, which committees are for the Senate? If you go to the House here, you click on the standing committees, and you're going to have a list of all the standing committees available this year. For the purpose of this training, we're going to be using the Children and Family Law Committee. We click on that committee, and it gives me all the members of that committee, who the chair is, who the vice chair is, who the clerk of that committee is, ways to the bills that are currently in that committee. If you're somebody that is passionate about children and family law, you can take a look of all the bills for that committee. If you want to go to the education committee and you want to do the same thing, it gives you a full list of bills that are going to be presented to the committee for review and for hearings. The same will be in the Senate. If you click in the Senate, you're going to go standing committees. Because of there's only a few, there's not 400 of them, there's 24 of them. The section is a little bit smaller. You can actually go to each committee. You can email the entire committee. If you click right here, it tells you who the members are of each committee. Fairly simple. It's easy to navigate. Now, the other main question that often many people ask us is how to find a specific bill that are really interested in. There are different ways. If you know the number of the bill, you can just go ahead in this section and enter the bill that you're looking into. For example, for this purpose of the training, we're going to use HB 155, the reduction of the business enterprise tax. You enter the number and then you click on that. It's going to give you the title of the bill, the number of the bill. Now, I want to know where the bill is at. What is the language of the bill? What you're going to do is go on the left side of the screen and click on the number of the bill. In this section, it will tell you who the sponsors of the bill are, who the prime sponsors are. It's going to tell you a little bit of the docket, which in other words is the history of the bill in chronological sequence. What's happening with the bill? When was it introduced? Were there any amendments? When were the public hearings held? We're going to find all the information in this section. You're also going to find the roll calls, how people voted for that specific bill. Now, you don't know the number of that bill, but you know what the bill is all about. If you want to pick a word from that title, for example, we know HB 155 is the business enterprise tax. So let's go ahead and enter, for example, here, enterprise. You enter enterprise right here, and it's going to give you a list of a few bills that have the word enterprise in the body of the bill, in the title of the bill. You're going to scroll down. And at some point in here, you're going to find, there we go, HB 155. So we found it. So that's two different ways where you can find that bill. Pretty practical, right? Another way to find out the specific bills that your representative introduced is by going to this section. We're going to select a member to use an example. We're going to go back to the Representative Sue Almy. We're going to click on the Representative Sue Almy. We're going to click on that. These are the bills that she introduced this year. There's about 12 of them. The same. You can take a look at this. You can go to the left side of the screen, click on the number, and it opens up the bigger window with more details about the specific bill. Now, a really important part of this website too is find out what the calendar is. If you scroll down on the main page, you can keep scrolling down. You're going to get to this section that says calendars and meeting schedules. There are two sections that are really relevant to the work that you do. The first one is going to be the House calendar and the Senate calendar. We're going to download the House calendar first. So this is going to be, you can go back in history in time and pick up different years. And last year, we're going to go back to 2026, and this is the most up-to-date one that we have. You're going to click on the PDF file, and this is the document that the House clerk will put out for all of you. This is a public document. They usually release it every single Thursday, midday, early afternoon. You should have it available. They have been on time. They're really good at it. Here you can find information about a letter from the Speaker of the House with some details that are really interesting. I highly encourage you to take a look at this because he shares when the next House session is going to be, any specific restrictions or any specific notices that legislators need to be aware of. And in some cases, is really helpful for you too. If you are planning to attend one of those House sessions, or if you're planning to attend many of the hearings that are happening in Congress. On that document, the most important part is going to be a little bit at the bottom of it. Sometimes it's halfway through the document. But this is where the calendar of committee hearings can be found. It's a different way that I'm going to show you later too. So on Friday, January 9th, we have some of these meetings happening. On the 12th, on Monday the 12th, we have all these bills happening as well. This is the expected time where the hearing will start. In some cases where there are a lot of people testifying, we say that this bill only has a 15-minute window. If it goes a little longer, 10:20 will start. They will make a little notice there on the spot, but it also depends on the importance and the public engagement of this bill. There has been bills where the location needs to be changed because the room can only hold a specific capacity. When that's happening, usually a notice is sent ahead of time. Last year, we saw bills on abortion, bills that affect the LGBTQ community, public education, or bills like the budget that we have to be moved to the larger venue, which is the Great Hall, the Legislative Hall. If you keep scrolling this page, you're going to see different sections, day by day, committee by committee. Right here, for example, you're going to see criminal justice is room 159 this year because the legislative building, also known as the LOB building, is closed. You're going to find GP next to it. That means Granite Place, which is a building. One Granite Place in Concord, New Hampshire is the same building where the Office of the Attorney General is. The LOB building is going to some renovations, so it's going to be closed for the next year and a half. So it's important that you all know that. And it's also shown on the top of the main website when you look it up on the top. We're going to go back to that main page and see what's happening in the Senate. So we'll do the same thing. We go to Senate calendar. This is the most recent calendar. Distribute. They also release it to the public on Thursday. We're going to open the PDF. And it's a fairly similar document. In here, you're going to find all the hearings per committee. Commerce, for example, in room 100 at the State House. SH means the State House. You're going to find the room where they're in, the specific bills, the times. It's really important that you pay attention of the times. Some people get confused and they showed up an hour, 2 hours later after a hearing is done, and sometimes they get to miss being part if they want to testify in opposition or in support of a specific bill. So there you have it, folks. This is an easy way to find out what's happening. Now, you cannot make it to Concord. You live too far away, but you want to pay attention to those hearings. Here in this section too, you're going to find 2 links that brings you to the streaming services that the House and the Senate provides. We're going to go to the House streaming video, and you're going to bring you to their Facebook page. I will highly recommend you to subscribe. That way you can get alerts. We usually get them about 10-15 minutes before a hearing starts. You can see what's happening live. For example, for this purpose, it says they're live right now. You click on the logo. This is what you have. We're going to go back. And if you want to do the Senate, for example, the same thing. The Senate has its own website. Cool. And I'm going to actually subscribe. There you go. I'm subscribed now. That was fairly easy to do. And you're going to have also recordings. So if you have to work and you miss a specific hearing, you can go back in there, and this is like a archive of all those hearings where you can actually pay attention and listen to it. And you can go back, you can record it. It's really interesting to hear testimonies and also some of the comments that our legislators will share. All right, so if you are still on that page, I think that has been really easy to navigate so far. The one that people get often confused is how to submit testimony. You can email your committee directly. You can email your state representative directly. There's different ways. But there's an electronic way to do so as well. When you scroll to the bottom of the page, you're going to get to this section right here that says Meeting Resources. We're going to be testifying on House bill. For example, House, you're going to click right here. I'm going to enter my personal information, Sebastian Fuentes. I'm going to put my personal email address in there, my town, all that stuff. If I know the date of the hearing, for example, I'm going to go to the 15th. I'm going to go to Consumer and Affairs. I'm going to pick a bill. I'm a member of the public. You're an elected official. You're a lobbyist. You have all those options that you can select to. Many of us will be a member of the public. I'm representing myself, or if you're representing our organization, you can also put the organization here. I support this bill. I oppose this bill. I'm neutral of this bill. There are 3 different options that you can select. If you have a document created or a letter created, you can also do so by downloading it right here, or you can type your testimony right here, and then you submit it. That was fairly easy, right? Now, the same will happen in the Senate. If you want to submit testimony, you click in here. You find the date of the hearing if you know that ahead of time. I think we showed you earlier how to find the dates, how to find the bill, how to find the hearing. You're going to select the committee for this purpose. We're going to do Thursday the 15th. I'm going to go to Children Family Law. SB 413, the left option below, member of the public in my case, representing myself. I support this bill. I oppose this bill. I'm neutral on this bill. And then you're gonna, once you click support, then you're gonna continue, and then you just gonna give you a confirmation of that you're supporting this bill, and this brings you to the main screen. So you want to see what kind of testimony people have submitted. That's also, who's sending, or the amount of people that are supporting a specific bill, or the amount of people that are opposing a specific bill. There's an easy way to do that. So you're going to go to View House Online Testimony Submissions. Let's get back to HB 155, the enterprise tax bill that I was mentioning earlier. So I think that's in the Ways and Means Committee. I'm going to go to the committee. Now here, I'm going to try to find, there it is, HB 155. You do that, you look at it, tells me all the folks who have sent opposition or support. Some people, if you submit a testimony, you can see their what they sent to the committee. In this case, this is an attachment here. You can see the text. Let's see what Judy sent. Okay. Everything that you enter early when you submit your testimony will be available here as well. The Senate has a more direct PDF instruction on how to do that. You can do is click on this PDF, and it tells you exactly what you need to do, which is similar to the House. But in this case, it's just less interactive, more step-by-step you need to be doing. There's one more way to find out which bills you can take a look at, or what the calendar for the upcoming week is going to be. I'm going to show you that one right now. You can go to House, and there's a House meeting schedule. This also shows, the times. It shows the committees. It shows the location of the committees. It shows day by day. You can go by month. You can go by week. You can go on the day. I just rather use the list format because it's easier to understand. It's cleaner. Let's put it that way. So, for example, I want to look. There's a bill right here that is happening on transportation at 10 to 12. That's when the committee is meeting. Click on that, and it tells me all the bills that are happening that day. You click on that number, and it brings you back to the bill. The same will happen on the Senate section. If you click in the Senate and you go to the meeting schedule, there's a weekly calendar with all the committees that are having a meeting that day. When do they start? When they're expected to finish? You click on that committee, and it gives you the bills that they're going to be happening. Fairly easy, right? That also can be a more easier way to get to that specific hearing for those folks that enjoy a little bit more visual direction. Like we mentioned before in previous calls and in previous conversations with folks, this year the Legislative Office building, the building behind the State House, the building where in the past we had some hearings, is not available. It's out of order, let's put it that way. They're doing some renovations for the next year and a half. So the address where the hearings are going to be happen for the State House is going to be 1 Granite Place in Concord, New Hampshire. This is more going to be for the bills that are happening in the House. Many of the Senate bills are still going to happen at the State House, not at the LOB. So there's a little bit of we have to pay attention to the calendar. The main building where the House of Representatives hearings are going to be held are going to be at 1 Granite Place in Concord, New Hampshire. There's if you click on the top red bar, you're going to see, the address. There's some maps. There's some information about parking. The building is accessible, ADA accessible as well. So if you need some assistance with that, you can definitely reach out to the office. But there's elevators. There's plenty of parking. So it should be fairly easy to get to. And it's only about a mile, I think, from the State House. And that concludes this brief introductory presentation on how to navigate the Gencourt website. Like I mentioned earlier, please you spend some minutes just exploring this website. There are actually way more tools to that you can access, like the visitor center, careers, for example. But take a look at it, explore it. If you have any questions, again, do not hesitate to reach out a member of the political team. We can hop on a virtual call. We can jump on the phone. If you cannot, by any means, be able to navigate this website, just reach out to us. If you have specific questions about a specific bill, let us know. If you want to reach out to your representative and, for example, you're not able to get the information, their email or their phone number, let us know as well. We can coordinate with the folks from the DBCC or the House staff team to get the information available to you all. We're here to help you. We're here to make sure that engaging with your legislative body, with your representative, is not only polite, but it's also effective and it's also fast. So let us know what we can do to help you. You can email us at political@nhtp.org. And with that, we conclude our presentation. Thank you so much.